Welcome to the Deep Dive, everyone. Today we're heading to South America
High up into the Andes Mountains, to be precise.
to explore the fascinating Inca Empire.
A civilization that thrived for centuries.
Without a written language,
Or money.
yet they built incredible cities in the clouds,
And a vast network of roads.
spanning thousands of miles.
We'll be using some great sources today to unpack this remarkable story of human ingenuity and resilience.
Excerpts from Dan Snow's History Hit podcast
Focusing on Machu Picchu,
and insights from experts like
Bibiana Melty Rodriguez.
in Melbourne, Vienna.
So let's dive right in.
Like many ancient civilizations,
The Inca origin stories.
are shrouded in myth and legend,
There are two primary origin stories.
passed down through generations.
One tells of a couple,
Manco Capac,
and Mama Acolo,
emerging from Lake Titicaca
sent by the sun god Inti.
to find a place to establish their kingdom,
The other speaks of four brothers
emerging from caves,
at a place called Pacaritambo.
each vying for power.
These stories highlight how important storytelling was
In a society without a written language
as a way to preserve their history.
and cultural identity,
Absolutely.
makes you wonder,
How much history has been lost over time.
and how much was preserved.
We do have those intriguing kippas
Oh, colorful knotted cords,
into kippa
geometric designs,
woven into textiles, which leads some to think.
that maybe the Inca did have some form of writing,
Most scholars agree the kippas were mainly used for record keeping,
like accounting.
census data,
But some believe they might have encoded more complex information,
like historical narrative.
or even poems.
It would be incredible if we could unlock those secrets.
Now, as the Inca Empire expanded,
Their rise to power.
was guided by three core principles.
Amasua, Amalila, Amaquela.
Don't be lazy.
Don't lie.
Don't steal.
These weren't just slogans
They were deeply ingrained
in Inca society.
and impacted every aspect of their lives,
From daily routines.
to their social structure.
Imagine a society where honesty and hard work were not just encouraged,
But expected.
and where laziness and deceit were met with consequences.
Their society was very hierarchical.
With the Sapa Inca,
The emperor at the top.
considered a descendant of the sun god.
Below him were nobles,
Priests,
and then commoners,
including the Mitma.
groups of people relocated to different parts of the empire.
The Mitma system was quite interesting.
Served a lot of purposes
It provided skilled labor,
for projects throughout the empire,
integrated conquered populations,
and discouraged rebellion,
sort of like a form of cultural exchange.
but also a way to maintain control.
It must have had both benefits and drawbacks for those involved.
Now we can't forget Machu Picchu,
Often referred to as the lost city of the Incas
rediscovered in 1911.
by American explorer Hiram Bingham,
It's a marvel of engineering and architecture.
high in the Andes Mountains.
Its purpose remains a mystery.
But we know it was a significant site.
For the Inca elite,
Bingham's story is almost as captivating as the site itself.
guided by locals,
He stumbled upon these hidden ruins.
hidden for centuries,
His discovery sent shockwaves through the archaeological community.
and sparked widespread interest in the Inca civilization.
However, there was some controversy too.
He removed thousands of artifacts,
From Machu Picchu,
which ended up at Yale University,
this started a debate.
about cultural heritage
Ownership,
and the ethics of archaeological excavation.
a long-standing debate.
After a century,
Many of those artifacts were returned to Peru.
in 2011,
A victory for Peru,
and a reminder of the importance of cultural heritage.
and respecting it.
Speaking of remarkable feats,
The Incas created a vast road system,
spanning over 25,000 miles,
all built without modern tools.
or wheeled vehicles
Imagine the logistics
and manpower.
involved in that.
These weren't just simple paths either,
They were expertly engineered,
carved in the mountainsides,
traversing treacherous landscapes.
with steps, tunnels, and bridges,
This network of roads connected the entire Inca Empire,
facilitating communication
trade,
and military movement.
and all of this was accomplished in a challenging environment.
The Andes Mountains,
Rugged terrain,
high altitudes.
unpredictable weather.
So how did the Inca create a thriving civilization here?
One key innovation was terrace farming
They transformed steep mountainsides,
into a series of steps,
maximizing arable land.
creating those stunning visual landscapes we still marvel at today.
It's like they sculpted the mountains
They also experimented with different agricultural techniques.
at a site called Moray,
Moray is fascinating.
a series of terraced craters,
Creating microclimates.
allowing the Inca to grow
Have a variety of crops at different altitudes.
like a giant agricultural laboratory.
Centuries ahead of its time.
Mind-boggling,
We also can't forget their food preservation techniques
which were crucial
to their ability to thrive.
in this challenging environment.
They freeze-dried potatoes
Fermented maize,
and created jerky from llamas
ensuring they had food reserves
for lean times.
or for distribution throughout the empire.
A remarkable feat of ingenuity and planning
It really makes you think.
about what we can learn from their sustainable practices.
In a world facing climate change and food security issues,
Their understanding of their environment
and their ability to work with nature,
rather than against it,
holds valuable lessons for us today, now beyond their engineering.
and agricultural prowess,
The Inca also had a rich spiritual world,
deeply intertwined with nature.
and that's what we'll delve into next time.
We'll be back soon to continue our deep dive into the Inca Empire.
You won't want to miss it.
Be sure to subscribe
To the deep dive.
for more captivating journeys into the past.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the Inca Empire. We left off talking about their engineering and agricultural achievements,
But there's so much more to their story,
like their spiritual world.
which was deeply connected to nature.
We touched on it earlier.
The Incas had a profound reverence for the natural world.
Seeing gods and spirits everywhere,
From mountains to rivers,
to the celestial bodies,
their cosmology was incredibly complex,
with a whole pantheon of deities
representing various forces of nature.
and elements of their lives.
We mentioned the Apis
The mountain gods.
and Inti, the sun god,
But there's so much more to uncover.
like the Milky Way.
What role did it play in their belief system?
The Milky Way was central.
To Inca cosmology,
They saw it as a celestial river,
a mirror image of the earthly world.
connecting them to the cosmos,
They called it Mayu.
which translates to river.
It's a beautiful image.
And it's amazing how they integrated their astronomical observations
Into their agricultural practices,
and religious ceremony.
the Intihuatana at Machu Picchu
The sun-tying stone.
is a prime example.
This carefully positioned stone,
Was used to track the solstices,
marking important points in the agricultural calendar.
guiding their planting and harvesting cycles. It seems like such a sophisticated blend.
Of science and spirituality.
It really is.
And then there's the Temple of the Mirrors,
Where the Incas used water reflections,
to observe the night sky.
making predictions about when to plant and harvest.
A deep understanding of the interconnectedness of the heavens and the earth.
So they weren't just observing the stars for their beauty.
There was a very practical element, too.
I've read that they saw shapes in the stars,
Yes, constellations.
like animals.
Exactly. They identified creatures like a serpent, a fox, and a condor.
All animals revered in their culture,
It's like they saw the sky as a living tapestry,
filled with stories and symbolism.
reinforcing their connection to the natural world.
It really makes you appreciate how differently they viewed the world.
Compared to many cultures today,
They were so in tune with the rhythms of nature.
and the cosmos.
Absolutely.
Now, to fully grasp the Incas' spiritual world,
We need to talk about their rituals and ceremonies,
which were deeply intertwined with their daily lives.
and their relationship with the divine,
One aspect that often captures our attention
although it can be controversial.
is human sacrifice.
It's definitely a complex and sensitive topic.
And it's important to approach it with cultural sensitivity.
And understanding.
While it might seem abhorrent to us today,
It was viewed very differently by the Incas.
it's important to remember that
We can't impose our modern values
on the past,
from what we know.
human sacrifice wasn't a common occurrence
It was typically carried out,
during times of great importance.
like the death of a Sapa Inca,
A major natural disaster.
or a significant agricultural event,
It was a way to appease the gods.
and ensure the well-being of the empire.
Exactly. The ultimate offering.
A way to maintain balance
And harmony.
with the spiritual world,
The victims were carefully selected,
often children,
or young adults,
and prepared for the ritual.
sometimes seen as a great honor,
One of the best preserved examples,
is Juanita,
the Ice Maiden
whose frozen remains were discovered in 1995.
on Mount Amparo,
Juanita's story is fascinating.
and tragic,
Her remarkably preserved body
and belonging
provide invaluable insights
into Inca culture.
and their beliefs about the afterlife.
It's a reminder of the lengths they went
to appease their gods
and maintain harmony.
with the natural world.
It's haunting
But it's important to remember
that human sacrifice was just one aspect.
of a much larger and more complex spiritual world
They also held elaborate festivals and ceremonies,
throughout the year,
often tied to agricultural cycles,
or important events,
music, dancing, feasts,
and offerings to the gods,
creating a sense of community.
and reinforcing their shared beliefs.
So while human sacrifice might grab our attention
It's crucial to view it
within the broader context,
of Inca beliefs and practices
now let's shift gears a bit
and explore another remarkable aspect,
of Inca culture.
their engineering skills.
We already talked about their road system.
But their architectural achievements are equally impressive.
I'm eager to learn more about that.
They were masters of stonework
Creating monumental structures,
that have stood the test of time.
and all without mortar.
Or modern tools.
It's mind-boggling.
They used a technique called ashlar masonry
Carefully shaping and fitting the stones together,
with incredible precision.
so tightly you can't even slip a piece of paper between them.
Imagine that.
It's hard to fathom how they did that.
There are theories,
Some believe they used wooden wedges
levers
and ropes.
to move the stones,
Others think they might have used sand
or abrasive materials.
to grind the stones to their precise shapes.
But we don't know for sure.
It's a mystery,
They also incorporated natural features into their designs
creating a seamless blend
between the built environment.
and the surrounding landscape.
Machu Picchu is a perfect example.
The city seems to flow from the mountaintop,
Buildings and terraces blending in.
with the natural contours of the terrain.
It's not just the scale of their constructions that's impressive.
They also paid attention to the details.
Intricate carvings,
Water features.
astronomical alignments.
Their structures weren't just functional spaces.
They were expressions of their culture
Their beliefs.
and their connection to the cosmos.
Temples, palaces, fortresses.
Even storehouses.
Speaking of storehouses,
The Inca were remarkably adept
at food storage,
and distribution.
a crucial part of maintaining their empire.
They understood resource management,
Their ability to preserve food
combined with their road system,
allowed them to move goods around,
ensuring everyone had supplies.
even in remote regions.
Or during times of scarcity,
It's like they had a sophisticated logistical network.
centuries ahead of its time.
It really shows their organizational skills.
And their understanding of planning for the future.
So we've covered their spiritual beliefs
Their impressive engineering
and architecture.
and their innovative agricultural practices
But what led to the downfall?
of this remarkable empire.
The arrival of the Spanish conquistadors
In the 16th century,
marked a turning point.
the Spanish had advanced weaponry
Horses,
and, unfortunately, diseases.
which the Incas were unprepared for.
A formidable force.
It's a tragic story of conquest.
And the clash of cultures.
The Inca, despite their resistance,
Were overwhelmed.
but they left behind a legacy.
That continues to inspire us.
Their ruins, their stories, their cultural traditions.
Offer a glimpse into a lost world.
A world that challenges our assumptions
About civilization.
and human spirit.
Even the most powerful empires are not invincible.
And the course of history can change dramatically.
With the arrival of new forces.
They makes you reflect
On the impact of colonialism.
in the complex interplay of cultures.
Throughout history.
We've covered a lot of ground,
In our exploration of the Inca Empire.
from their origins,
To their downfall.
but there's still so much more to learn.
Their story is a tapestry.
Woven with threads of innovation,
Resilience.
spirituality.
And tragedy.
We'll continue our deep dive
Into the Inca Empire.
after a short break.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been exploring the incredible world of the Inca Empire
Their origins, their beliefs, their innovations.
and their tragic encounter with the Spanish.
Their empire might be gone.
But their legacy lives on.
Absolutely.
It's seen everywhere,
From the languages spoken in the Andes.
to the agricultural practices still used today,
Their story is woven into the fabric of the land.
and its people.
Exactly.
Their descendants still honor their traditions
Keeping their culture and history alive.
through music,
Art,
storytelling,
even their weaving patterns.
which often have ancient symbols,
Motifs.
and of course their architectural marvels,
Like Machu Picchu.
still draw visitors from all over.
A powerful reminder of their ingenuity and skill.
Machu Picchu is a great example.
Preserving these incredible sites
And the artifacts they hold.
is an ongoing challenge.
It's a delicate balance.
Tourism,
Climate change.
even looting,
All pose threats.
to these irreplaceable treasures
Makes you wonder how we can protect them.
for future generations.
It's a big question.
Organizations like UNESCO are helping
By designating important Inca sites,
as World Heritage Sites
raising awareness.
and providing funding for preservation efforts.
That's good to hear.
But it's not just about international organizations.
Local communities have to be involved too, right?
Absolutely. They're the ones on the front lines
Balancing tourism.
with protecting their heritage.
It's not easy.
But their involvement is crucial
It's a good reminder for all of us,
to protect these cultural treasures.
whether we're archaeologists or just admirers of history.
We all have a role to play.
Now beyond the physical remains.
The Inca also offer us valuable lessons.
I love that about studying history.
It's not just about facts and dates.
It's about understanding the human experience
The choices we make.
and the consequences.
What can we learn from the Inca?
Their successes,
And their failures.
their sustainable agriculture,
Their governance.
their connection to nature.
Offer insights into building a better future.
They faced challenges,
Just like we do.
but they found solutions
That allowed them to thrive.
for centuries.
Their ability to adapt is inspiring.
It really is
Their story is also a cautionary tale.
about unchecked ambition.
And cultural clashes.
The Inca, despite their achievements,
We're vulnerable to outside forces
it's a reminder that history is full of lessons.
if we're willing to listen.
So as we wrap up our deep dive,
What stands out to you?
their ability to adapt and innovate,
In one of the most challenging environments on Earth,
they created a thriving civilization.
using their ingenuity and resourcefulness,
What could we achieve if we set our minds to it?
their connection to nature,
Seeing themselves as part of a larger system.
respecting and honoring the natural world.
A lesson we could all learn from
Especially now.
with the environmental challenges we face.
It's been an incredible journey.
Exploring the world of the Inca Empire.
Their story is a reminder of human ingenuity
The importance of cultural heritage.
and the legacy of the past.
Absolutely. The Inca Empire may be gone,
But their story continues to fascinate us
inspiring us to learn more
about the mysteries of history.
and the complexity of human civilization.
If our deep dive has sparked your curiosity,
We encourage you to keep exploring
there are many resources available.
to help you learn more about the Inca.
And if you enjoyed our exploration,
Be sure to subscribe to The Deep Dive
for more fascinating journeys,
into the world of history, science, and culture.
we've got some incredible deep dives coming up.
Don't miss out.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
Until next time, keep exploring
Keep questioning
and keep diving deep.
into the world of knowledge.